Anything around town? Take your last one.
I know. There's a pay audit in there. The only other thing was, I didn't know if you were gonna do anything with the website. We've got another proposal. Yeah.
Has more time.
Yeah, well, I'd like to have everybody chance to go over all this stuff. Comparing apples to apples. Just the what? Light should be in there. It's on the agenda.
Didn't put the whole, I thought.
Okay, I didn't get a packet,
I
so I
thought you had,
everything.
that's why I asked if you needed it printed.
Greg's got mine.
Oh my goodness.
Greg got your.
Yeah.
Hey, the public has everything. This is
What's in that?
most of it. It does not have the agenda. You have the agenda. It's not in order either.
Okay,
Do we have light? Does public have light?
light ordinance,
Yeah, because we got to vote on it.
yeah,
No, the public does not have
Okay.
we can read
What do
it.
you have? What's that?
the blight ordinance.
I heard it mentioned, but I didn't hear.
All I have is the email from Tina that I put in there and whatever you said, I didn't put the ordinance itself. I thought you were reprinting the ordinance.
Please ensure your cell phones are either muted or shut off. Got 7:05, we will open the meeting at 7:05. Please join me in the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. To the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Recognition visitors. The sign-in sheet on the table in the back, please use it if you intend to speak, especially.
Albert Keys,
Here.
Tom Backers,
There.
Joanne Childs, Christine Johnson here. Greg Bradley is going to be on his way soon.
Disclosure of conflicts. Got a lot on here. I don't have any.
I have none.
I have none.
Approval of the agenda. I didn't put the new website on here. I think we need some time to review some of this stuff. I know she's got 3 or 4 offers to take over our website.
Make a motion, we approve the agenda. As written.
As written.
I do see, you did not put the former clerk's overpayment on the agenda.
The what?
The former clerk's overpayment of wages is not on the agenda.
Well, when we get through with legal. Okay, and make a determination on how to proceed, then we can actually convene in public and take any action we want.
Okay,
So
you want to wait then?
I would just leave it till after we get through with Mr. Boyd.
When was that turned into the lawyer?
The audit. We haven't done anything other than we have the numbers. Okay, so that was actually, that information was sent to the township lawyer a while ago. The thing about putting it on the agenda is basically what we have to come to some conclusion as to recouping the money, whether we go through the court system or make an offer to her for repayment.
So you've been,
And in the amount.
you've been in contact with the lawyer?
I have not concerning the repayment plan, no. Once we get into the closed session, we can figure out what we want to do and proceed from there. I didn't want to get the lawyer involved unless the board figured that's the way to go. Any other questions on the agenda?
So are we gonna go into closed session? Are you gonna?
Yes.
No? Okay.
Yes, under guest reports, special orders of business, I have a closed session for Mr. White concerning another matter, and we can discuss it then. Public session, any action that the board decides to take can be dealt with at that time.
Okay, so it will be on the agenda under the closed session.
Okay, consent agenda.
Hold on, we need a second on that. I'll second that.
Oh, yeah, all in favor of adopting the agenda?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we didn't have a maintenance report.
There is, what?
Hmm?
There is no maintenance.
No, Craig didn't turn them in.
Okay.
The sheriff's report was forwarded along with
Yeah, I was looking for that and I couldn't find it to print it off for everybody.
oh,
So it's not in the packet.
well, it was a series of attachments for June, July, August, I believe.
Let's just back up for a minute. And can I address, our maintenance?
Yeah.
Matt? Craig, do you have something that you wanted to present to the board?
I'm sorry.
Didn't you have something you wanted to present to the board?
Just kind of an oral thing of
Oh,
things that I found that things that need to be addressed.
so,
We looked at that grass catcher and it's not
okay,
gonna fit.
The leaf system.
okay,
Almost $2,000 worth of stuff.
okay, we can wait. I just wanted, I thought you had something to present to the board as far as paper.
I don't have anything officially written up because I forgot all about this and they told me this afternoon to come set the meeting.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Okay.
But anyway, we're looking at other options for a leaf.
Okay, so, but you're gonna give him
Right.
time. Okay,
Oh, Joe, and Greg has pictures of all the things that have been found.
Okay, and then you want to be added to
yes,
closed session.
yes.
So. All right, public comment before we enter a closed session and hate to put everybody in the ring. Yes, ma'am.
I would like to talk about the Clearwater Township Ordinance Enforcement Records. I've been a resident for 20 years in this township, my name is Ms. Roth. And the Clearwater Township Ordinance Enforcement Policy, Resolution 5 of 2019, states under Section 8, recording and file, that all complaints received shall be recorded in the Township Ordinance Enforcement Records. The complaint files shall be maintained by the zoning administrator. Recording the complaint shall consist of the following: assigned case number, name and phone number, property address, type of complaint, report of field investigation, and any supporting documentation. I filed a couple of FOIA requests last year referencing this policy that Lisa Levy responded to. In her responses, she pointed at previous zoning administrations for not keeping records properly, and that she could only give me incomplete information for the times before she started working for the township. I recently filed another FOIA request asking for all complaint records for this summer, again referencing the above mentioned policy. She responded with, no records found as requested. We were unaware of this. How can she be unaware of this policy when I clearly referenced it in last year's FOIA? Why is she claiming she's unaware of this policy when our township is paying her companies tens of thousands of dollars every year to handle our zoning work, and it is clearly one of her tasks to maintain those records in a professional and organized way. She went on to send me 37 unorganized attachments with some complaint information, no case numbers, and some even misidentifying address information. I feel it is important for our township to have reliable records for everything that is going on in order to make decisions on dependable data. I'm asking you today to take all necessary steps to ensure that all township officials, including the zoning administrations, are recording and filing the incoming complaint in a professional and organized way according to the above-mentioned policy. Thank you.
Point taken. We have one in the back here, sir.
Hi, my name's Stan Shook, and I'm picketing my road, which is further down in Garfield Township. It's sort of the road commission trying to get changed. And I'm just showing up at every meeting, like I said I would, and listening and learning. So if you see me out there on the road picketing, that's what it's all about. Our road is so bad that our township will never have a road assessment tax voted in. You have one. That's what we're up against. The county has no money. The township has no money, so change that to come to Lansing, which is a difficult task, but it's not impossible. So I'm standing up for that.
What township do you live in?
Garfield Township. Okay, but thank you for your time. And one thing I've learned is I really respect all of you, your time, effort, commitment to these meetings and to the community. So I applaud you and thank you once again.
Anybody else? Mr. West.
The closed session here doesn't state why we're voting. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Why we do it, sometimes we don't say, other times we don't.
It is supposed to be stated.
So my question would be, why do we vote for that?
It's a specific time of litigation.
Linda scenario or the fire clerk that in Ludlow, that's what I just heard.
Oh, we will get to that. We don't have any legal representation concerning the audit. What we're trying to do is figure out how to approach retrieving the money. So basically we'll just hash that out and let everybody know when we come back in session.
All right, I guess I'll just make a statement. I believe it's been approximately a half a year, probably 7-8 months, maybe somewhere in that vicinity. Since the clerk has been gone and its numbers have been changed, I think it's only prudent that the township board has managed tax. Where to respond to somebody that has never appropriated public funds. I think that should be the highest priority to take care of, because in my opinion, it allows future issues to come up, and I think facing future issues that we're not handling. We like to kick things down the road, and I see the agenda. As usual, you guys are strong with a lot of work. I realize that, but things have to be prioritized.
We didn't get the audit report until June. Okay, February, March, April, May, June. Okay, and that was distributed to the board as soon as I got it. So now we're trying to figure out how to approach retrieving the money.
And for so, thank you.
Okay, anybody else? Yes.
Yeah, I got a couple of things that I'd like to add to the road. Get to that.
Okay,
Including the request for early money to get to the crosswalks page.
yeah, I saw that. All right.
And also, one thing is the 80-acre park that's out there on the other side of Hill Road that just recently got the flag painted or whatever. I was wondering if, I could reach out to that group and invite them to one of our meetings to give us a progress of what's going on. It's been many years since anything's. been-
Oh, you're talking about where the
Heritage.
the flag monument went up and it's not finished.
It is now a flag. Anyway, it's been a while, and I was wondering if I could reach out to them and just give us a status of what's going on.
Yeah, that's the VFW, I believe,
This Heritage Foundation.
Heritage Foundation. Okay, but. Yes, ma'am.
I'm just wondering if you can move the department / committees, the nominations up before you do the closed session. Again,
We only have, I think, 1, 2. We got, it's, one for the ZBA and the other one for the planning commission. Rather get the closed session out of,
Well, and the treasurer and the clerk, and the treasurer and the clerk. I mean,
so you want to rearrange the agenda after we've approved it?
no, I'm just saying that there's more. Hi, Greg.
Okay, all right, so, the agenda's been approved and we'll try to make the closed session as quick as possible. It should be brief. All right, I hate sending everybody out in the rain. But without any further comment,
I have a question. I'd like to ask the gentleman from Garfield a question, if I could, please.
certainly.
Garfield Township, you have your own road millage, just depend on the county.
We depend on the county, we don't have one. I don't think the poor people there will probably ever get in. That's the problem.
Okay.
And we share the road with Springfield Township, who also doesn't have anyone.
Okay.
All right. Any further public comment? Okay, I move to don't enter closed session with Mr. White to discuss the situation with the legal matter. Yes. I just made the motion. I have a second.
Second.
All right, Greg Bradley,
Yes.
Albert Keys,
Yes.
Joanne Childs,
Yes.
Tom Beckers,
Yes.
Christine Johnson, yes.
We will recess the public portion of the meeting at 7:20. Get 5 minutes to.
It's up in the email, so I have it on the email. The blight ordinance, I have it on the email.
Yeah. we need to-
I can read it off the computer if we need to do that.
It's got a. I was the writer for the first meeting. I have it.
I'm trying to get this, system down, but it's still like I was checking email again before I came over here. There's still more stuff coming in after the fact. So I'm like, I have the packets ready. I've sent it out to you. Now there's more.
Well, usually I normally,
Yeah.
I mean, I'd run late.
I made copies and you made copies. I figured since you didn't have time to get your packet, that you probably didn't have time to do that either, so I got that for you.
I like the way you emailed it, but I didn't.
Having it all, yeah. That's, that works.
31 pages.
Yeah. Could have been
Okay,
more.
we'll reconvene the public session at 8:05. Okay, do we have any motions pursuant to the closed session?
I'm sorry.
Bottom closed session.
Oh, did we need to do that? We didn't do that.
Yes, we did.
Okay, I'll second that.
Even though we already adjourned and reconvened. Okay, so Greg motioned. Who seconded? Tom
Vote,
second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. So public at 8:05. Okay. A couple of things, I move that pursuant to the former clerks, overpayment and questionable payments as discovered or reported by Tyler Waters in a separate audit, that we refer the matter to the township lawyer, basically requesting restitution in the amount of, I believe it's 4,500 or 4,005. Do I have a second? I second that one. Roll call vote.
Joanne Childs,
Yes.
Greg Bradley,
Yes.
Tom Backers,
Yes.
Albert Keys,
Yes.
Chris Johnson, yes.
Okay, I also move that trustee Keys basically contact the township legal counsel.
Yeah.
Okay, concerning his results of the investigation.
Awesome.
Roll call vote.
I believe that would be, I mean. Get to them. Be able to contact the lawyer. In regards of the investigation.
Just what I said.
Yeah, motion to authorize trustee Keys to
Yeah.
contact the township attorney regarding the open investigation regarding maintenance. Okay, second by Joanne, roll call vote, Greg Bradley,
Yes.
Albert Keys,
Yes.
Tom Backers,
Yes.
Joanne Childs,
Yes.
Christine Johnson, yes.
Okay, the chair will entertain a motion regarding the West versus Clearwater Township litigation.
In the case of Jeff West versus the township, I motion that we make an official settlement offer of $45,000 of which up to $25,000 would come from township funds to be paid in payments, one from the insurance company settlement and the remainder from the township in quarterly payments over the next fiscal year. Do I have a second? Joanne Childs,
No,
Tom Backers,
No,
Albert Keys,
Yes.
Greg Bradley,
no.
Christine Johnson, yes. Motion does not carry. Back to the drawing board.
Okay. Back to regular business. Minutes from September 21st.
thank you.
It was very quietly done. Yes, we did. Thank you for asking. I make a motion that we approve the September 21st minutes as presented.
Second,
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Correspondence on the parks grants for Freedom East and West. They were not approved. So it's back to the drawing board. Both of them. That correspondence was forwarded to Parks and Rec.
I think it's sent to all of us, isn't it? I think we all got that email.
Yeah,
Okay,
I don't know if you all got it, but I forwarded it anyway, so. Global. There was some confusion in the contract, on the new zoning map. The contract stated a future land use map. So they were inquiring about that, and basically I sent an email back to them saying they should be basically one and the same. I don't think we're gonna make any major zoning changes within the next 3 to 5 years. The master plan is based on a 5-year plan anyway. So what we need to do is have a hand-marked zoning map with the current changes incorporated. The area changes, village market and whatever, make sure it's up to date, that the zoning ordinance is up to date. Send them, even if we have to mail it to them, what we want our zoning map to look like, and they will do it under the existing contract. They've already been paid. So they did send a draft copy of the master plan. I haven't had a chance to review it yet, but that should be on the next month's agenda. So, and then as soon as I can get a map to them that's marked up properly with the legal descriptions in the zoning ordinance, I will send that, and hopefully we'll have a new zoning map by the first of the year. Okay, other than that, nothing else. I did send the STR to legal last week and asked them to mark it up. Any comments, suggestions, additions, deletions, whatever, and get that back to us. Hopefully they'll have it by November. And the other thing, GFA, our engineering department, they've been working in town on the Grand Traverse Senior Center, Traverse City Senior Center. I've been driving them nuts, but they should have something on the office remodel, some options to show us, in November, according to Jennifer. Other than that,
Did they say anything about Heritage?
Heritage Park, no, and, that should be on November's
We've
agenda
already
too.
voted on do that, so we just have to get
The
that.
contract, well, they have to give us basically a price for.
Yeah.
Okay. Treasurer and clerk. Sheriff's Department, nobody got the Sheriff's Department report? I forwarded that to everybody.
I mean, I just see what they post on Facebook every, you know. Well,
No, because the sheriff's report should be the monthly report with the liquor inspections and, okay. All right, I'll
I'm
make sure
sure it
that,
was, I saw it in the email, but I couldn't find it when I was printing everything.
Did you skip over the treasurer? Can I? Put it open?
No, it's good.
I'm just trying to run through we'll get to the Public Safety Committee in a minute. You want to do the treasurer and clerk's reports at the moment?
Yeah, you have the written report. It's all
Should be
back.
going right down the agenda here.
Yeah.
where we at, our local.
Okay, treasurer's report.
Yeah, we have the treasurer's report. I have a letter like we get every year from Calcasas Public Schools. They give us a fee that we've agreed in the past for several years of $3.94 per parcel, $3.94 per parcel, and that's what they're recommending again. Want us to agree to that, and they will pay that to us for each parcel collected on the school taxes. So I've got this for you to sign. All three of us sign.
Is that the same thing that Calcasas?
Yes, it's Calcasas.
Yeah, because I remember we had an issue with that before because they
That
were,
was Elk Rapids. Elk Rapids didn't agree to it, so they do their own.
okay,
And I haven't gotten anything from them, so they're probably still doing their own.
okay.
So that we can all sign that. I'll send that to them.
Now, do you think that's still a fair amount? I mean, we've been doing this for years.
$3.94
It
part.
is because Elk Rapids goes and gets a lot less. It costs less to the state and how they do it. So yeah, this is really good.
This was the standard for the rest of Calcasas. Basically is why we're using that figure.
And this will go to TBA, that whatever its meeting is to. They all agree if Calcasas agrees.
This needs to be done by resolution.
Okay,
There needs to be a resolution written for it to approve it.
this is the way we get it all the time. So
Okay,
we-
so-
It says right on there by
That's
resolution.
that's another November
Okay,
issue.
Yeah.
so we'll create a resolution for that.
Sorry, if I'd have known, we could have had that done.
Anything else?
One thing I was looking at, I don't know if you noticed, but in Michigan class, D has invested $375,000. And she let me know that each fund that has been invested with funds from our funds, sorry, have already started earning. So they're making good money already. So revenue's coming in.
The interest that we're showing here on this, is that from the Michigan, or that both?
No, that's just account interest. That's from the,
And we're also discussing point and play, we're hopefully get that all settled so it can go out. Point and play is where you can pay your taxes online. So we're working on that. A lot of people want to see that. And we're hoping we'll have that completed. And then well, the newsletter, we've got to mention the newsletter today. We'll go up the taxes.
and you have your expenses by vendor detail from the clerk. The clerk's books balance with the treasurer and with the bank.
Can I ask a couple questions on this?
Mhm.
$840.55, was Craig still here? Was that for the Toro? Because we shouldn't have that much on the brand new one.
Which one are you looking at?
I'm sorry, Ferguson. I know they sent that in to be,
Yeah, the 840 was the Toro.
that was for the Toro. because-
Yeah, for the old one to get it running, he was using it.
And question about the mulchers. Have we cut back on that for the winter?
What's that?
I don't know who's responsible for that.
Huh?
Who orders the, well, that would probably have been,
there's two porta johns down Lake Street, no need to have them there at all, so that's gonna save us money.
I think probably the maintenance supervisor
We don't have
set that up.
maintenance.
I know, we don't now. So who's responsible?
Just someone has authority to call them and say, we don't need
Well,
it. So
whoever pays the bill should call them up and have them pick up the public access ones anyway.
we just keep the one at Heritage and one at.
One over here.
Great Park.
Yeah.
I don't think we need them at Birch Street or Cedar.
Well, somebody's gonna have to tell me what to do because I don't know where they need to be
I
and,
mentioned to Angie. that
okay.
no one else mentioned.
Wait. Okay, so a contract was signed.
Is it a contract?
Is it a
I think it's monthly, it's a monthly service.
Monthly.
Monthly service.
But anyway, if we need to call them and see if, we can have the,
We don't need them as of November first.
Right.
Anywhere, so they get removed from everywhere.
No,
no,
we keep.
just,
Heritage and Freedom Park.
the
One
two,
Heritage.
Crystal Beach parks.
Okay.
I mentioned it to Angie, but.
John, all the ones on Crystal Beach access sites. need to come out.
Right, access in the two parks, Birch and Cedar.
Are there still extras at Heritage?
Pardon?
Or is there only one left there?
Heritage stays. It's a
There's
handicap
only one there now.
handicap.
Okay. Just so I know. All right. Couple more questions regarding bills. I have an invoice to East Bay Irrigation. That's for the fall blowout
Yeah,
at
for draining
Heritage and Freedom Park. Now, is that a township expense or is that a park expense?
It's always been township.
So
It's been township, but actually it should fall under the Parks and Rec budget.
well, they need to know if that's going to be part of their budget.
Right,
Mhm.
it's maintenance on the parks.
There's a, okay,
Cemetery should also, they have,
They don't do that.
well, we got a pump house. I guess they just
They
drain
don't
it.
do anything. When I was maintenance last year, I asked about that, and it's down deep in the ground, you never have to worry about that.
Yeah.
And they don't blow anything out, they just turn on the faucets. Craig knows that.
How much was that, Christine?
the bill is $615. Or, well, actually, there's two bills, sorry, $665 total. One was a adjusted controller for fall watering that Joanne called for a service call.
Yeah. Because we have going on, we had to show you had to shut that, everything down, have someone to do that. And, we
Yeah,
had to look in the.
basically
future.
they turn off the sprinklers
Right.
so it can get blown out.
Whoever put that in the pump house, it's a mess. It's a nightmare. At some point, we're gonna have to have them straighten it out. Tom probably
Okay,
seen
so
it.
how do I make this, does that need a motion to add this to the Parks and Rec budget, or is that,
When we plan the budget. Okay.
so leave it in township for
Leave it
now?
in township,
Okay.
if we've been paying it township, and then we'll change it, the next budget. Move it to where it's supposed to be.
I've got a question here on McLean's Hardware. 1013. Is that a repeat? There's like scaffolding.
Yes, that is because the scaffolding got rented and left at the garage for
Yeah, but
3
Are we
months.
just paying that now? I thought that was.
I never got the
Oh.
invoices, so they just
Didn't
sent
get the
those
invoice until
invoices.
he turned it in.
Invoice, you bring it back.
It was.
They
taken
sent, they
back.
emailed invoices for everything, they
You
emailed a
took it
statement,
Many days that was.
yeah, probably.
Joe's son took it back, right? You took it back.
Another thing that I wanted to bring to your attention was the Centaurus invoice. Actually, I have 4 invoices. Our monthly billing for 1 month is $1,509.20. And then on top of that, service call, remote support, $890.63. So they're billing us $187.50 per hour for any remote work that they need to do or any service calls that they need to do.
It's supposed to be included in the contract.
It's not, because the next month I have the same September bill is $1,102.51, and then another extra bill on top of that. No, that's the service call. That $1,100 is service calls. And then the regular bill, another $1,500.
The 1,100 is, I believe, for the installation of the.
When is our contract up with them?
I don't know that there was a contract end date.
Well, we signed an initial contract. Is that contract
I think it was-
forever? Or can we
I think it was 3
get
years.
comparisons from other companies to see what the continuation is?
We
Because
can look at that at the budget meeting.
we didn't get any other bids on that.
Yeah. Anyways, I just wanted you to know that it's $5,000 for 2 months. Which is way more than we expected to be paying. It should have only been, what, $725, I think is what you guys told me a month or something like that. So, yeah. Next thing is McLean's, which Joanne already addressed. The scaffolding being left over at the Township Hall garage. I don't know how that happened, how it got rented and then left there for 3 months and not used for a job that should have been done within a couple of days.
Take that back.
The guy,
Yeah.
I was just going on my own personal to the Queens, and the guy who handles the rental knew I was, and he says, "You guys still using that?" I says, "What?" He said, "The scaffolding."
I mean, we all knew it was there, but I didn't
know. it was
I didn't know
rented.
we were paying a
I
rental.
didn't know it was rented.
Bloxham roofing invoice. I just wanted to make sure that I have approval to pay that because there was question about that.
Mhm.
That was an individual on Parks and Rec that called up Blocks and Roofing and.
He was actually an independent, he wasn't Parks.
Well, according to Dave, he was, and basically I asked,
Just trying to do a good deed.
yeah, I
Okay,
understand.
well, I wrote the
But
check and I believe Joanne mailed it, so.
They did they did
just
the inspection.
$130
And we got a roof check.
for inspection on the.
Well, the thing about it was, we were getting water under that window.
From 2022 though. I mean, it's a bill from November 2022. I never saw it, so I don't know what happened to it,
Okay.
why it never got paid. But that was paid from the general fund. And then, oh, I actually have the Gamosers. I was wondering, should that also be parks?
What's that?
The rental of the handicap toilet.
I know Heritage Committee rents the extra ones when we need them, and the Heritage Committee has
Yes,
our
that
events
should
or
be
whatever.
parks.
Okay, so when we do the budget, then also Gamosers should be moved to parks. Added to their budget. Okay, I have the invoice for the Smith and Johnson attorneys. This one is, it says right on here, phone calls with township zoning administrator, email correspondence with zoning. Shouldn't that be from the zoning budget?
Yes.
Okay. I don't think that's ever been separated. This is the only one I've ever seen that says zoning. So I don't have any way of knowing. I did put that under zoning. It's paid through their budget, but
Right.
no, maybe I didn't. I just noted it on there, so. Smith and Johnson's moved to zoning budget base. Okay,
Yeah, any legal action initiated by the zoning administrator should be charged.
All right. I will have to pay closer attention because I'm not sure that I know what is actually zoning and what's not. I don't have the invoices that come with the Ferguson invoice or the Ferguson statement. So who took the Toro? I have,
Craig took it.
I'm missing
No,
3 invoices, I
them up.
think.
Yeah,
you took them, did you?
No, I took the new one.
You scared.
Craig took the old one.
yeah, he
Right?
picked up he picked up the skags and dropped off.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, that's fine.
All right, so when you guys do that, just make sure you grab an invoice or have them email me an invoice when they do that. So that I have those.
We can call and have them send them.
And then I need approval to pay the auditor for this last audit for the year ending March 31st, 2023 to Tyler Waters.
Is that a motion?
It's $7,950. So
Make a motion, we, pay the auditor.
I'll second.
second. Greg Bradley,
Yes.
Tom Backers,
Yeah.
Joanne Childs,
Yes.
Christine Johnson, yes, Joe Keys.
Yes.
Thank you very much. There was another thing, there was an ad placed regarding the relief tree planting. That was paid from the township that should have been paid through, I'm assuming Parks and Rec. I don't know who
Yes.
placed that ad. So, okay,
I think the gal that was doing it, which was with probably
okay.
Kelly's permission.
All right, so I will reimburse the township for that.
Now that they have their own account, we can just pay from that.
Yes. And on the first net invoice for the township, we're paying for what, 4 phones or 3 phones? Who has these phones and who's,
What are you finishing upon?
I'm
you got
paying
2 of them?
for 886-0770, 886-1377, 886-1203, and 886-1378. So there are 4 phones.
Right, fire department had one.
No, they have their own.
We have room.
This is the township.
Oh, okay. 4 phones, there should be maintenance, the clerk, and one for the office, and this one.
Oh, okay. Well, where are those phones?
The phone should be locked up in the clerk's drawer. Ask Angie.
Okay.
Because
Ask
when
Angie
they
where the
came in,
phones are. Why is she not using that phone instead of?
Well, the thing, that's the thing about it is, this is a first response or emergency system.
Okay.
Okay. So basically, you know,
Those will only be
if
used
something,
if
if something happens where we need them, the office would have, the clerk would have a phone. The office could be shared between, you know, whomever. I have one, he has one. So the fire department, everybody stays connected regardless of the situation with the internet is, as long as AT&T is still running first
All right.
responder.
Do you
cell
know
service.
which number is yours?
Question, I
I
actually.
don't
I'd have
want you to
to-
mess up your recording.
I can
Let's
send
figure
it.
that
I
out.
can send it. to you.
All right. Sorry.
Also, we need to know what, make sure that we know that if it's got a serial number or anything like that, that all needs to be documented as far as who's got what.
Yeah.
Well, the paperwork should be with the phones.
Now, this is only for emergencies.
Basically, actually, I'm using this one to record meetings, so I've got a backup. And if I have any question, I can go back for reference. The other thing is too, is the mobile hotspot, which I basically
that's on here too.
haven't used, but I mean, that's
You
another.
have that.
Do you need that number? for
Yeah,
John?
yeah.
I have it, 231-886-0770.
Okay, that's Tom's.
And how much is that a month? We're paying
It's $50 a month per phone.
for all the phones.
So you're using it.
Per
in
phone.
Township,
Per phone.
Yeah.
And Craig's got one. Right?
Oh, Craig, do you know what your
Well,
number is?
Craig-
Is Craig still here?
No,
No. Oh,
Craig doesn't have the phone in his possession.
oh, he doesn't. Yeah.
No, the other phones were locked up, so they wouldn't be floating around.
well, I think he needs one.
So one
Well,
could be Craig's.
needs that particular phone or needs a phone.
Well, there's no sense of buying another phone if we.
Yeah, we already got one, so
And we're
we
already
can issue,
paying for it.
we can issue the phone, we're paying for it.
So what happened to our phone that we had that was maintenance?
It
Ah,
was turned in.
the phone, yeah,
That was the one without the SIM card, right?
That's the one we left.
Yep, and you couldn't find the SIM card. It
You
was
still got that phone?
It's not my, I'm trying to think what we did with it. Did I give it to you?
Which phone are you talking about?
The
The-
maintenance phone,
yeah, the former.
maintenance phone. The maintenance phone, I think,
no, that was the pro plan phone that you got.
if I still have it, still in my cabinet locked up. But I don't remember. It messed up.
The SIM card should have been in it.
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
It was gone.
Anyway,
Can we locate these phones, see who has what by the next meeting?
Yeah,
If we're paying for phones that we don't even have,
Right.
so we need a phone inventory is what you're
yes,
yeah.
with numbers. Probably.
So Frank hasn't had a phone at all since he came back to work.
Just a phone.
saying. The purple phone.
Yeah, he shouldn't be using.
No, he should have,
I use mine.
Okay, so we can.
Well, you know, I talked to Craig about that. He doesn't want to carry two phones. I said, just take it, leave it on the charger, leave it on the dash.
For emergency, right?
So you.
Well, that's what it's for,
Yeah,
so.
that's what it's for. Have to take it in the house and that's the one you carry.
Yeah,
The Pure Talk phone is less expensive, it's $29 a month. Than what you're paying, $50 a month for those.
Yeah.
The Pure Talk phone for Craig is cheaper.
Well, what we can do is, basically take.
If the signal
Take any
goes
unused
down,
phones out of service.
the other phones, the
You can rearrange.
first
the
net will
service.
still work where the Pure Talk would not. That's why we have them.
All I know is
Right.
it's less expensive than.
Okay.
All right,
Move
that's
on.
all I have, yes.
Move on, please.
Always come with a load of stuff, so.
Yeah, well,
All right, so next is, we don't have the sheriff, so public safety.
Actually had a pretty good meeting. We discussed a community service. Let me kind of lay in what that is. First off, a community service officer is a non-sworn law enforcement technician. So some of the main functions that a CSO, let's say, are known in the industry, what they do is community engagement and outreach. There's somebody there with the township, people can get over. They do security at special events or at the schools if requested. They are a true first responder to certain incidents. Medically trained, overdose, CDs, first aid type of things. And again, it's a first responder to certain things. Ability to make initial security.
Jim, can
of a
you
crime
mute your
scene.
phone, please?
So if there is a suspected crime that's going on, the CSO can respond and secure it, not to the investigation for law enforcement side, but they just ensure property over there. They also take public service, parking complaints, parking enforcement, animal complaints, voter assist, blackout. Minor issues, like a flat tire, like that, just stand by if a car, breakdowns in the traffic. They just sit there and have this safety response. Traffic accidents, again, they can secure the scene. Again, not do the initial investigation, but secure the scene until the law enforcement responds. Take loss or missing person complaints, endangered adult and child, off their own property. Things out there that a non-sworn, even a part-time community service officer could do. And also that may incorporate a whole or something to think about. Yeah, there's a lot more labor that needs to be done, but it might be an option that this township might consider instead of going with a full-time law enforcement officer. And there is some potential way to fund that. We're talking about short-term rentals, and
think we even, what, 91, is that what we came up with? a
There
number?
was 90 something.
$600, is that correct, what you're talking about?
The original number tossed around was $300 of the license, but that would depend on.
Yeah, I understand, but I'm just gonna portion of that money, go to the community service office. So some of that was just brought up, and we discussed it at length, and I actually reached out to my old police department that I retired from, and they started the program after I left, so I didn't know a lot of the details on it. But it's something to think about. We got more questions, like I said, I'm gonna dig into it.
So this community services officer would not have powers of arrest.
It is a non-sworn at this point, but again, it's, and lead into certain things, if this community wants something like that, then it could get to the point where, hey, this is working out, let's maybe consider getting a sworn officer, make that person sworn office, then have a full-time law enforcement. Well, there's something to think about. We're probably, like I said, discussed it. A lot of options there and a lot of positives. And again, it would be a community members. It'd be vested in this community. I like the sheriff department. I'm not knocking the sheriff department. I'm just saying, they, have responsible throughout the county, not the Clearwater Commission. Souls. Thank you.
Thank you.
Where would you find, if I may?
Yeah.
Where would you find more information on this? Is there a website or something?
You'd have to look, but I don't, like I said, my police department started it probably about 10 years ago.
So if we look for it, we'll find it.
But yeah, research for community service, it's not a new concept, it's more departments are starting to go there, and more communities are starting to have it, especially some smaller communities.
Okay.
If you think further, I want to dig into more to see if there is something where we haven't considered. Yeah, but it is a non-sworn position at this stage.
Thank you.
Roads Committee, we have a couple of things. And here, where is Jim?
Besides what I submitted on the report there, I have things are on the Eagle. Really, the website is kind of an informative email that they send out. It's a long email. It's highlighting many gets totaling $13.6 million. One of them was the Underhill bridge grant, and that's the new wording on what that's going to include. I put just a couple sentences, so I can read it. Calcasieu County Road Commission, Calcasieu County, $960,000. The county will design and construct 2 new appropriately sized and aligned structures at Underhill Road over the Rapid River. The 2 existing bridges are structurally deficient and undersized, reducing hydraulic conductivity and increasing sedimentation, restoring the river width and providing a natural bottom to provide both water quality and habitat benefits. So that's just kind of a description of what we're going to be getting. Again, that's the road commission that did that grant. We don't really have any say in what is going on as far as the grant. Then I also, and there's a letter coming in the actual mail for you guys, in the description of why and how the on-circle payment process got messed up or confused, however you want to look at it, but it's quite long, so I'm not going to read it to you, but it is going to be in your mailbox probably tomorrow. Mailed yesterday. The one other thing I had was emailed y'all before the meeting a copy of the quote for the road commission to put the crosswalks, repaint them. At City Road, Harwood, and Valley Road. And I saw it's $1,077. And, I believe that that is permissible to pay that out of the metro fund, so it's within the right of way, all of it, so I'm asking you to approve that so we can get it done before snow.
Okay. I would like to make a motion that we do that at the moment and approve the painting for the crosswalks and the school symbols.
I second that move. Not good.
And I heard a discussion, and I don't think you mentioned it, but the school pays for that.
Originally, the school paid for the crosswalk signs, the actual school sign, and the little arrow going down and drop down. The curves and everything like that, they originally paid to have that all done. Rapid City Elementary PTO did that.
Mhm.
As far as the regular keeping maintenance on that, you know, as John, it's an 80-20 thing. He said, no, it's 100% township.
Okay.
I didn't.
Motion on the floor.
argue with him.
Motion on the floor.
Roll call on it? Yeah, oh, okay, yes. Greg Bradley,
Yes.
Joanne Childs,
Yes.
Tom Backers,
Yes. Yes.
Albert Keys,
Yes,
Christine Johnson, yes.
that was 1,000.
77.
From the right of way.
Okay, so the motion is to pay from the right of way fund. You
That's
changed that,
That's just part of the process.
that should have been in the motion.
Yes. All right, any other issue concerning roads would be the matching funds for said grant. The conversation between Mr. Rogers and myself ended up at first he wanted the township to pay the whole 200 grand, which is 20% of the match. I told him we couldn't do that. Basically, usually the county kicks in 20%, the township on 80% on anything. So what we came up with between the two was 150 and 50 from the county. Now, in order to do this and proceed, the matching funds have to be confirmed by the township so that they can let the state know that the money is available for the matching funds. So I have drafted a letter of commitment to John Rogers and the Kalkaska County Road Commission from the Clearwater Township Board of Trustees. Basically, this just states that we would Clearwater Township has authorized the commitment of township funds up to a maximum of $150,000 toward the matching funds required by the State High Water Infrastructure Grant Program. We understand that these funds may be in cash or in kind, and it would not be a cash payment all at once. A copy of the minutes recording the vote on this expenditure is included as an attachment to this letter. Tom Backer, Supervisor, Clearwater Township. So I moved that we approve.
Shouldn't that be 50,000, not 150? That's what you said.
No, we're responsible basically for the county. No, the county.
It's just the bridge.
Just
Yeah.
for
The bridge.
oh, right. You're talking this is for the entire grant,
Grants for the bridge.
right?
The grant from Eagle covers the entire cost of the bridge,
And the county is responsible for the bridge.
and the county hasn't given us a price for the road portion that they want to do.
Said it would include it would include at least paving under. Yeah, first of all, you have to pave over the bridge.
Well, we've asked them, I asked it the last, I've asked before. Give us a price that's 0.55 miles for Underhill Road. Give us a price for that road. If you're gonna use some of that grant for that, we will pay 80%, but we're not paying 150,000. Pond Circle only cost us 71,000.
When you get a grant, you are obligated to use that money just for what that grant is given
Right,
for. You
which-
can't just decide to use it for other things.
Which is
Which is the
basically
bridges.
The repair of the bridges.
Yeah.
Right.
How much is it gonna cost for the bridge?
That's why we're saying, this amount, he's not giving us what this is for.
We don't know what the grant. X amount of dollars, what do we get for that?
That's why I don't
Well,
want to
that's what-
approve this because we don't know what we're approving.
Well, Mr. Chair, if I may,
Oh,
what I heard was the supervisor and John, road commission, made an agreement without even the board being included in this.
that was a verbal negotiation, so I could let the board know what would be required of the township in order to provide the matching funds for this grant. In other words, if there are no matching funds, all right, there is no grant. There's no bridges.
Does
So-
the grant require matching funds?
Oh, yeah.
So does the county have funds to match it?
County is the one doing the grant. I haven't seen the grant, I don't have that information.
Okay.
But the grant, okay, is for the bridges, it's not for paving the road. I understand John has talked about including some of that money, you know, in the paving of it, but I think we need to see what the cost is gonna be before we approve the money.
Yeah, get some numbers.
Yeah.
I'm for paving Underhill Road.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here's.
And replacing the bridges.
Okay, we also have to renew the agreement for the lease on the Underhill property for access to Underhill Road from Trosco.
That's separate.
Okay,
Do that.
well, that's another $4,800.
Is that gonna be prorated? If we get the bridges done, then that, say it takes 6 months to get the bridges done. Then.
He wants the money in a lump sum upfront for 1 year,
For 1 year.
right?
Is that the one that
Because
you
it-
said
that's
he had the
just-
wrong dollar amount on there?
But that,
That's the one.
he had the wrong dollar amount.
That's the annual thing we've been doing. But is he on the understanding that if the bridges are done in June or whenever, probably not, it'll probably be a full year,
He said September.
huh?
He said last time he was here, he said it would be mid-September when
So I'm only too much.
the bridge, whatever money was left over from the bridge would go towards the road, paving the road. He didn't say how far or which way.
Well, we'll be responsible for the road between the bridges.
Well, he said,
We need more information, right? This is vague.
It's procedure. You have to have the proper procedure.
Talked about it last.
all right, let's not get into a debate. Basically, what you want, and the plans haven't even been drawn up yet, according to what Jim just said. Okay, and, okay, when you do a cost projection, this wouldn't take place for, almost, well, probably 6 or 8 months. Okay, before April, May, before they even thought about this. Contracts would have to be let, which means he either has to have some plans drawn up. Okay, so he has some estimates of what the contracts might cost. So we need more information from John Rogers concerning the constructions of the bridges and the paving of Underhill before we can make a decision on what amount of the matching funds we will commit to.
And the grant requirements. I mean, we've not actually seen the grant.
Well, if he doesn't have plans drawn up yet, he's not gonna be able to get your
We
prices.
just like to see the verbiage of the grant.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I conceded a 20% match. The government,
And this was
You
based
know,
on the premise
I
that,
agree with Christina. I think John wants us to pay 100% of the match.
well, that's what he asked for at first. I said, so we can't do that.
I don't think that's right because
Now, the county's supposed to maintain the bridges.
Well, he's the one that made the deal.
Yeah.
The whole deal anyway, without the township.
I didn't make a deal.
No, not you.
Okay.
John did.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, well, I
Had
understand.
nothing to
He
do-
applied for the grant.
Yeah.
Okay, because of the situation.
Thing.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
We just want
Okay.
more details.
All right, so
Yep.
what we need. You know, and this figure was based on, okay. If we get the bridges repaired. And we can pave, and what he told me was at least a term at Underhill. He said, out of that kind of money, he says that he thinks that's possible and feasible. So he said, I may come back to the township and ask for doing the rest of Underhill simply because the equipment's there and, you know.
Yeah,
But what you're looking for is,
the price of Underhill Road to pay it.
And the verbiage.
Yeah. So we can pay our 80% like we do all the other ones. We'll know how much it's gonna cost us.
well, I would
Are
ask.
you taking note of all this, Jim, so
I
that?
wonder if- So what is the appropriate question we need to pose to the road commission? That's what I'm looking
I
for.
think we can just take this. Study. That's the big cost.
well, I think what would clear it up is that 20%, and he says he claims he could pave up to the corner, the stop sign. Does that include our 80% of that pavement?
He said the money from the grant should be able to cover that portion of.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The question appears to be is, why are we paying for the bridges?
Right.
Is that your point?
Cost to pay Underhill, minus the bridges.
But you're paying for Underhill, new bridges.
Yeah. I want to know, can this grant be used for the road?
Okay,
You know, if you were to.
so you want the paving separate from the cost of the bridges.
Yes.
Because the bridges are their responsibility, 80% of the paving is our responsibility. And 20% is their responsibility of the paving. We just need some numbers.
Yeah.
I don't wanna say, yeah, we'll give you 100,000, we didn't pay that much.
Where,
for it.
It's up to, it says up to, but we don't know what
Not
we're
what we're
committing.
saying.
Right. We don't know a maximum.
75%.
What I need to know is our obligation to the grant, right?
Right.
The grant, great.
Right.
What is the extra charge to finish the road? I mean, too simple.
Well, that's basically that's the way I put it. She wants to separate that portion of the money from the bridges, okay, from the roads, and then base our contribution on just the paving of the road.
I mean, everything John, you, whoever we talk to, I mean, was you trying to get the pavement snuck into the grant.
Right,
So now you're trying to, so now you're trying to say, I want to pay it.
right,
I mean, just what's our obligation
right.
for the grant? And then, how much per mile?
I don't think we have any obligations.
Oh, I think.
I said,
Responsibility.
But we haven't seen the grant, so we don't know what our responsibility is for the grant, so we can't say.
Every inch of the road is ours.
all right, here's the bottom line. The bottom line is he needs $200,000 in matching funds in order to get the grant.
Yeah.
Okay, he wants us to commit to up to $150,000 to repair both bridges and pave the road to at least the T. Because he figures that amount of money can do that. All right, for which we would end up spending up to $150,000. If any extra money is needed to pave the remainder of Underhill, that would depend on the contract and the cost. And they would come back to us and do the 80-20 split on the rest of the road.
At the meeting, we asked how much, how much is Underhill Road? He said 0.55. That's what Han Circle was. We paid 71,000 for Han Circle. So why should we pay more for Underhill if it's only 0.55?
And more than the paving. You know, we're helping to cover the cost of replacing 2 bridges that belong to Clearwater Township residents, okay? We spent more money than that replacing our wood down there, historically speaking. We had quite a bit.
Well, that's why we need the matching info for the grant.
We need all that information. We can't just say, we'll give you 150,000 or up to 150,000.
You're saying we have to pay that much. That's our portion, but we don't know because we don't know what the matching amount is for the grant. If there is a matching amount, I've never seen the grant, so I can't say. I will agree to that when I haven't seen it.
The grant isn't broken down into county and township. Grant is the grant. For the county to repair the bridges in the township and that portion of the road with whatever funds are available.
It says that in the grant.
All he wants is a commitment from us that we will guarantee up to 150,000 for the matching funds so that the approved he can get on with the design.
I just want to make it clear, I want the Underhill Road paved, but I want to make it clear to all these other people who want their roads paved too, that we're doing the right thing.
It's not just the roads.
Carol, you're out of order, please.
It's the county's problem.
Wasn't this all settled at the last meeting when John Robinson was you?
Yes, well, he was here, he was talking about the garage, but we did ask, we did ask about the Underhill fund.
Yeah, and we asked him for that information at that meeting too.
Yes.
This is rehashing.
Okay,
Just need numbers.
all right. So, do we forward this letter of commitment or not? That's the question. All right, we need the bridges fixed. It's costing us money, basically to lease the back end of Robert Underhill's property for access for emergency medical, fire, and commercial vehicles, including Kalkaska County and the school buses.
I think we go ahead and pay it because.
Well, we're not,
No,
we don't know how much it's gonna end up costing. All we're doing is,
Bobby under. Because, you know,
I'll pay the Bobby Underhill thing, but
there's 100% of the traffic is gonna use that then once the construction starts.
it will.
You know. So
I'll
people
take a
have-
note.
yeah,
Well,
I'm taking
That's pretty hard.
Is that due? Is that due?
okay. So the
So
first
motion,
thing, do,
Joanne's making a motion to approve payment to,
Bobby Underhill.
Bob Underhill in the amount of $4,800.
that's $4,800
His math was off.
to Bobby Underhill. And what is that for?
That is for
Access?
that easement through his property. The contract was,
That's last year's. Probably the same thing, change the date.
that was last year's, and now all you need to do is change the date and
But that is only big equipment, it's not cars going over there. So is that gonna have to be changed for when the bridges are taken out and cars have to access through there?
We're gonna need to, that money can go towards the bridges in the road after it was done. They wouldn't access his property.
Yeah, I mean, if when
Do
it's.
we have a
his-
new agreement?
What I found out was.
Okay.
Do we have a new agreement?
I asked him to send a
So we
new
can't
one.
even prove it yet.
No, he didn't, all he did was send me the old agreement with the renewal. And when we signed this one, I asked him basically, and how much for next year, he said, well, 20%. So 20% of $4,000 is 48.
We need a new,
We need a
we
new
need a new
contract. I
contract.
asked them for one. I haven't yet to receive one.
so we can't even approve that yet.
Well, we can approve the money pending a new contract. Which can also come out of the right of way fund.
No,
It's a right of way, isn't it?
I mean, approve the contract without,
It's an easement.
we don't have.
No, I'll withdraw that because we don't have one yet. Withdraw that motion.
You know, you're making,
Yeah.
Mr. Chair, you're making decisions without even notifying the board of what the hell's going on.
I got an email from him, which I forwarded. Okay, if you'd read your emails, okay, then you, if you don't get an attachment from me, tell me you didn't get the attachment,
Okay,
because I did forward that email. And I told him, I said, your math is wrong, and I sent that to the
Mhm.
entire board.
yeah, we saw that. We saw that. But now we're at the meeting without the contract
Right,
and
okay, I did ask him for
Yeah,
another
yeah.
contract. So
so if we have to type it up and get him to sign it, I mean, we can do that, but
okay, we can amend it. Now, what do we do about the matching funds?
Have him give us some numbers. How much is it gonna cost to pave Underhill Road?
He doesn't know that until he gets the bid proposals out. And he gets some numbers back.
Okay,
In order to do that, he has to have a commitment so that the state allows him to proceed with the engineering surveys so that he can let the contracts out with some cost projections. But he still needs the guarantee of the money.
they're asking directly, so we know exactly.
You say exactly what.
Yeah, this is fun. It's like asking us, okay, you want to commit to 150,000, you don't even know what it's gonna. Imagine grants not out there. Up to
His
you.
request.
This is what Tom wrote to him. To John Rogers, Cass County Road Commission. Sir, this is to verify that the Clearwater Township Board has authorized the commitment of township funds up to a maximum of 150,000. We didn't.
Where's the discussion?
We're
That's
discussing
what we're-
now.
yeah,
There's
that's what
no,
we're
I mean, let's get us to sign it and split. Not,
I guess when that was the question, is that what John Rogers is requesting?
Yes,
What is he basing that on?
he's basing that on the fact of the matter, because I asked him, I said, what do we split it? He said, the county board of commissioners would never approve that. Okay, he's trying to cement the grant money. Okay,
he's got the grant money. It's already approved. The grant is approved.
if we didn't get the grant money, if you did get the grant money, the county would still be responsible for those bridges. Not us. But we got the grant money, so I don't see what the beef is.
Well, we ain't got the grant money plus,
I know, I understand that. But
80% of what
yes,
I say we give them 80% of what it is to pave the road.
it's different than the bridges, so
But you have to pay.
the grant is for the bridges,
Exactly.
paving the road.
That's.
the grant is for the bridges. The freebie with the grant is paving half of Underhill Road.
If they can.
Yeah, if they can.
That's not a freebie.
For the grant, we still got, what, 80%?
We don't know. That's what we keep coming back to this. We don't have that information. He wants us to
Okay.
commit funds that we
So-
don't have any information on.
So basically, the question for the road commission is, what if we don't guarantee the money? Then what? Then the county is responsible for $200,000.
We can guarantee them 80% of what it costs to pave the roads.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to take a recess for 5 minutes.
Coming up with 80% when he's already.
Okay,
That's
it's really,
our responsibility.
Is that a motion?
That is a motion.
okay, motion.
I'll
for
second that.
recess. Do I have a
I'm gonna
second?
break. Yes, I second.
I'll reconvene at 9:15. Recess at 9:08.
And it's like we're talking in circles.
You know, plus the road millage doubles this year.
We're not responsible, it was 80%, so.
They don't understand how you get it. Commit these funds, and that you have no.
Meetings explain.
And why, I don't understand why you can't give us that information. So we come in. No, give it the information to get the commitment, you don't.
That's right.
For, to get the.
Which costs us.
About that, but it's possible.
I mean, the bottom entry is what she.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Responsible. Responsible. Like them.
Responsible to generate some insurance.
Oh, can you?
I checked out here. And I've done 1,339. And I took a look at every time, depends on whether we can, you want to. But not expected to get taxed on it. Maybe you can. Yes. Well, if you're maybe to the really great understanding of Main Street. So the two-story house. Yeah.
What was the price?
Then, talking to the lady, talking to them. They can run for 13. We put like.
Definitely. So how do we?
Township and later. What's going on?
Someone on there listening?
Yeah, I would never.
Jenny,
agree to- This was from Jim's phone. I don't know who Jim was. He just signed off.
She lives right next to our divorce, that's.
Ah.
Our- from my- our first-
Visual blockade.
John's like this.
I just want to know if we are looking at
Jim gets, he does a lot of it, was doing a lot of meetings and. This, I just discussed it, and I would like to see. The change of that, we need that too. We need such trucks and other things. Especially the I'd say $40 Rapid River Township is. You know, because they don't get. So.
It says on there.
This is it.
Reconvene at 9:15. And I will motion
It says right here.
that we forward a letter of commitment as written.
You might want to be a little bit louder, Tom.
That I will make the motion that we forward the letter of commitment to John Rogers, of Calcasieu County Road Commission as written. Do I have a second? Second. Had the discussion.
I don't agree.
Okay.
You asking for us to vote now?
Yes,
So for discussion at this point, right?
open for discussion, but we basically beat the horse to death.
So, well, what, okay, I just want to ask Christine, what is it that you want?
I'm seeing 4 things, okay? Can this grant be used for the roads? We don't know. What is the matching information? We don't know. What is the bridge information? We don't know. What is the road information? We don't know. We don't have any information. How can we make a commitment of funds for something that we don't have any information for? And it's backwards. It's completely backwards. You cannot require a commitment without giving information first. It's just backwards. He's saying we can't give you any information until you make the commitment. Are you gonna commit money to somebody for a contract without them telling you what this is for?
You can correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't he supposed to present that information?
Mhm.
I believe that's what the conversation was. Okay, thank you.
He doesn't have the information because he doesn't have any prices on the contract, so he can't separate the bridges from the road. What he told me is there is enough money in the grant to pave over the bridges to the dogleg right on Underhill. If he could pave all of Underhill with that money, he will.
That's why I need to know, can the grant be used for the roads?
Well, obviously, if he says he can pave Underhill to the T, then it can be used for the road. You still have to pave the bridges.
I didn't hear that in what the grant was approved for. I heard bridges, for bridges and only bridges. So I want to know, is it for bridges or is it for road? Is this commitment for bridges or is this commitment for roads?
It's for both.
Then I need to see the information saying that.
Any other discussion? Roll call vote. I want something in the record.
Tom Backers,
Yes.
Joe Keys,
No,
Joanne,
No,
Greg,
Yes,
Chris, no.
Okay, I'll need a copy of the minutes when you get them forward to John.
Okay.
Moving on. Funds for the spillway.
That was paid out of the road fund.
Came out of the road fund.
Yeah, so, it was approved in minutes to pay from the road fund.
Okay, so we can,
yeah, you sent a copy of that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
also on that, Mr. Chair, we were supposed to put an ad in the paper to have that finished.
didn't get to that yet. Busy with the other ones.
So, is that something that we're gonna do, or that's gotta be completed at some point?
Yeah, and I know Craig is busy enough where he can't do it.
No, we don't, we want this done right, and complete, not partial.
And for the spillway completion. Planning Commission.
Yeah.
What, oh, I didn't get parts.
Between me and Derek, we failed to get,
Oh, sorry.
you know. He thought I was doing it, he did it, then he told me, Dave, did you email, send it to you, and I said, no, you didn't send it to me yet.
Well, I think you should be doing it.
Well, he should be, yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, he's swamped,
He's,
so I've been
yeah,
helping him all I can, and then. So we're looking at replace, I need $2,335 to fix the garage. What that'll be,
I thought we did that.
we put bottoms on them last year, on the two that was pushed in.
Okay.
That we're talking, this is to change all 6 of the weather stripping around, okay? And replace 4 bottom seals, we replaced 2 bottom seals last year. And that's also $602 to put them on a maintenance schedule. So $602 of that 23 is actually a PM.
push,
Okay.
you said pushed in, I don't remember what that was about, how they get
Snowplow.
pushed in. Snowplow pushed them in.
Yeah.
Who plows?
Our people,
Your volunteer firemen
No,
plow?
no. Your township people,
Do they have insurance?
you know, your people.
Usually if someone damages, they carry insurance and that should help pay for that.
well, if it was the township.
Huh? No, not township. Last year, we hired somebody outside last year.
No, we didn't.
But, okay. It was last year that it happened.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay.
What it is that you have a deep plow. So when they pull it to the door, it sticks forward, and after 10 hits, you can't hose it in, you can't push it back anymore.
It doesn't go like this. It's always this way.
Well, for about 10 times, you could push it like that, and then it cracks.
I make a motion that we approve the $2,335 to replace and repair fire department doors as quoted.
Yep, and then what's been quoted for replace 3 entry doors. I got one back so far, and I'm not happy with it, so.
Yeah.
$4,100.
Who made the motion? Who made the motion? I'll second.
What was the amount on that?
$2,335 even.
$2,335.
Okay. Greg Bradley,
Yes.
Albert Keys,
Yes.
Tom Backers,
Yes.
Joanne,
Yes.
Christine, yes.
The other thing is, Our air packs are 13 years old now, and we had 5 of them fail last year.
How many do you have?
We're down to the bare minimum of 8 now. So to replace them, those 8, with, Derek and I talked, and we'd buy 8 new ones at a cost, just talking without asking for a bid, okay?
Right.
We're looking at 95,000. They're not cheap. They're 11,840 a piece. So. And we've been saving money for a major, knowing that we're gonna have to do this eventually.
How many members do you have?
We got 10.
Do they wear out or expire, or how do they figure that?
You gotta remember, we use them in a very harsh environment.
Yeah.
And they're electronics, and electronics just
After so long, they just kind of, okay.
heat, water gets into them. And that's what's failing on them, electronics.
It tells you when you're running out of air.
Well, they tell you we're running out of air as soon as you put them on.
Yeah.
So we're just looking at that, that's a,
Is that gonna be in your budget for next year?
well, just talking, we're looking at 95,000, 94,408. And it's not how many members you have, it's how many seats you have in the writing positions that are required.
Right, that
So,
was my next question.
Yeah, and that's, we have 10 seats to set on, so we was thinking the little squad that very seldom goes on structure part, we would keep 2 of the old ones in that until they fail.
Gotcha.
Anything else?
That's it, sir. What's that?
The millage for fire department, they're coming up pretty soon. I can't remember when it was last time.
Yeah, it's gonna come up in May,
In May.
along with the road millage renewal and a request to increase the operating budget for the township. So those,
There's 3 items on there, right?
and we're done with the fire department planning commission.
Okay, we need to approve a new citizen for the planning commission. Vice Chairman Few will be stepping down in November. I believe November will be your last meeting. We need to approve a new.
Mr. Packer has volunteered to fill that seat. Anybody has any objections? I would like to nominate Dan Packer.
Well, I believe that was the only application that was, right?
There was another one from Kevin Arietta, but he's snowbird.
Okay, I'll second that.
Does that need a roll call vote? Does that need a roll call vote or?
Yeah.
Okay. Joanne Childs,
Can you repeat that, please?
nominate Dan Packer to take the role.
Commission to fill the
Planning
vacancy
commission.
created by Mr. LaFuse.
Stephanie, yes. Tom Backers,
Yes.
Albert Keys,
Yes.
and Greg Bradley.
Yes.
Thank you both.
Yes. We have
Oh, I'm not gonna.
Yes.
Well, we're gonna need approval for a citizen to the planning commission by January.
Right.
Chair Von C is stepping down, so we need to.
actually, Tina Fields is retiring come January 1st.
I don't think that was brought up. Yeah. I think she's like,
I'll confirm that, but
yeah, I don't think Tina is,
she tagged that onto email and it's with an attachment for
stuff designing, but that's the only one that I'm aware of. You know,
Tom, did you check the mailbox? I checked it, I mean, the bid.
on the bid.
And then the application for
Oh, is that what that application is for?
Okay,
I was
yes,
thinking-
I have it.
Yes, it's in his hands right now.
Okay, so, Ryan Williams has volunteered. I would assume that would be for Mr. Bonci.
Well, that's the other thing that is in my report. Commission votes on chair, vice chair, and secretary at the December meeting.
Yeah.
Mr. Von C will be there until January.
Right.
So I would say we leave the application process open until actually our next meeting, which was, well, December. We could vote if there's any more applications in December, so that way you have the place for December.
Okay, that has been in the paper once.
I'm just throwing it out there if anybody is discussing it.
Well, you do have one application. If you can forward this to the planning commission, your meeting is November.
First Monday.
Yeah, Teresa.
There was public comment to the planning commission, complaints about shooting going off at the White House next to Freedom Park West. Right around 3:15, 3:30. Kids were being loaded on the buses. This is a safety issue for our kids. Please pass on to the sheriff department.
The sheriff department is aware of the complaints.
Can we make sure that you're gonna be talking to them anyway, right? Can you reinforce that we pass that along, that it's right around when the kids are being loaded in the school buses, and it's really a safety issue as far as
Maybe you can put a cop out here or
something.
I don't know.
That was just a complaint from a public comment.
There's been several verbal or emails, phone calls.
From the 9/25/23 special meeting on short-term rental, the planning commission voted and passed to give this back to the township, to have our township legal team go through the draft and make suggestions or ideas for a better understanding of what is being requested by the board. This was handed back with no direction other than this has no teeth.
And
That's going to legal already, right?
that was sent last week. Basically, I just got a return acknowledgement that they did have it and they were in the process of reviewing it.
And I know it was also requested that planning commission requested that the clerk be involved in this. So whatever happens, if they contact you, it was requested from the planning commission to make sure the clerk is involved, notified of all transactions. Number 6, after public comment was heard from, I would also again point out that the township supervisor does not overrule the township zoning department. There should be directing questions about zoning to Clearwater Township zoning department. There is no reason for miscommunication. This is understood and being followed by all in all zoning matters. 7, things passed from the planning commission should be time sensitive. Perfect example would be the blight. Number 8, public wants Zoom up and running ASAP. Thank you.
And Tina Fields was aware that the Zoom is available for her last meeting.
Okay. And what about our owl? Is our owl gonna be?
The owl is back in the zoning office. I haven't fired it up yet to make sure everything works. I was gonna do that today, but I've had other issues with propane, gas leaks. So, yeah, that will be available for the next township meeting. Set it up and do a fake Zoom meeting.
Can we have it available for the planning?
Yes, that was my intent. You guys asked for.
Yep, good. Thank you. That's all. Anything, that's all.
And, Any zoning violation I get, I forward to Lisa. What happens after that is, we've been basically persistent in asking about certain issues. Mostly blight. So anyway, we get to the blight ordinance. That was reviewed and amended. We get a clean copy printed. I think, Field sent one. And the next ordinance in line would be number 30. So the blight ordinance would be numbered as 30.
Yeah, it's right here. I'm sorry. Do you want me to read it off of here?
Yeah, how long is it?
It's not, well,
Does the public, do we have any
It's 6
copies?
pages. No, there's,
Okay.
well, we do, but not here.
so has everybody read it? Looked at it?
Yeah.
Liz?
Anybody have any problems with it? It's been to the attorney. It's been amended.
I sent it out as an email, and the only thing that I seen that I addressed was definition of township, which I let everybody know that I gave my definition of it. If there was any problem with it, let me know or come up with something better. That would be under J, section 3, I believe.
Board supervisor, clerk, treasury, trustees, enforcement and penalty.
That's pretty
Would be under-
much.
would be under J,
Mhm.
the township, the board, and then it says supervisor, clerk, treasurer, and trustees.
Mhm.
What it says, that was the definition I came up with. You guys were okay with that?
Yeah.
Read the rest of it.
Yeah, I don't think it needs any change.
Okay, motion to adopt blight ordinance number 30. As amended. Do I have a second?
Second that.
Greg Bradley,
Yes.
Albert Keys,
Yes.
Tom Backers,
Yes.
Joanne Childs. Yes. Christine Johnson, yes.
This ordinance becomes enforceable, I believe, it as law 30 days after today.
Yes, that's correct.
We have to post that on the meeting.
Yeah,
Yeah, we do. Publication.
actually, that was part of the packet. There was the end page.
Oh,
Where it's supposed to be
publication for that.
approved, and then it's supposed to be in the paper.
Right.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
We'll get it published
Yeah.
next week.
Okay.
Once everything's signed.
We'll print that and get it signed.
Friday, so we'll do it Monday, and I'll get a copy of it off to Elk Rapids News and the Calcasieu Review, along with an ad for the finishing of the spillway.
Okay.
All right, where we at?
Copies of the zoning, I think.
I believe so.
Copies of it?
I don't remember. We copied so many things.
The only thing I've seen on for zoning, there was a couple of, I do have five parcels, that I would like permission for the township to take new steps on issuing a civil infraction relating to junk ongoing with no result despite numerous calls and attempts to provide certain resources to help. The board would make, they would like the board to make a motion, to proceed with issuing a civil infraction.
Okay, so yeah, these are mostly related to blight. Would imagine. It's a specific one too.
I would,
There's 5 different properties involved, right?
no, there's actually,
5260 Schneider's all I see.
you got two, you got Gillett. Yeah.
Oh, no, there's two, there's another one.
Yeah,
There's one.
do you have it?
I'm familiar with, Gillett Road and Snyder Road. Yeah, Snyder,
I'd like to make a motion that we give permission to the zoning department to go ahead with the civil infractions against these two parcels.
I second that. You need a purple.
I need,
That would be parcel number. Here, I'll just let you.
she's got it.
I have this, I just need, the wording for that, that motion.
To give zoning permission.
To approve zoning, legal action.
Steps, to take new steps on issuing a civil infraction. Relating to junk. And then I can use the parcel numbers if you need them.
Just the addresses.
And I,
Who seconded that? Greg? All right, Joanne Childs,
Yes.
Tom Backers,
Yes, definitely.
Christine, yes, Albert Keys.
yeah,
And Greg Bradley.
Yes.
Okay.
I also would ask that, that be forwarded to the zoning, so they will. That'd be forwarded to the zoning. so
Oh,
that
yes,
they-
yes.
Okay. It's my report. Parks and Recreation.
There was there was another property that she sent a separate email.
There's two there.
Yeah, that's the one I saw.
Yeah, both of them there.
And 72 West. That might be,
Commercial activity and agriculture zoned
Right.
property.
Oh, yes, that was a late one.
Mm-hmm.
I make a motion that we go ahead and approve our zoning department to go ahead with
this guy's been,
uh,
if it's the one I'm thinking of.
yes, that they can proceed with any civil infraction.
So zoning request to take next steps.
Yes.
One that put in a driveway without a permit. So that's what I'm thinking of.
And they're doing.
Filled in wetlands and DNR.
Oh, you're talking all the
That is 7225 M72.
Trying to think. It's got an address board up there now.
And did somebody second that?
Yeah,
Okay.
yes. Hands raised, left hand. Don't count.
All right. Tom Backers.
Yes.
Greg Bradley.
Yes.
Joe Keys.
Yes.
Joanne Childs. And me, yes.
Another question. Mr. LaFew. You said that Mr. Gross has a veterans.
There is.
Yeah.
That's what I'm told, he has a veteran's level. The two notes perfectly within things,
Right.
but there are some restrictions. And as far as I know,
Where did you look it up for as far as specifics or?
what a veteran's license is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where'd you find that? VA?
No, it's actually in Calcasas.
It's recorded,
Yes,
so the clerk would have it.
yes, yes. There's several of them around.
Yeah, it's free.
Yeah.
It's actually free, but it's, I don't think it's called a veteran's license, it's called
Peddler's
a
license.
peddler's license. Yeah.
Well, that's basically what it was.
I think right out, let's say that.
Valley Road, Church Road. Yeah, the one who's perpetual garage sale is.
I did have, we went down the maintenance now.
Yeah.
I did have some questions for Greg. We did the tree planting and I asked for all township, everything else in the township be permanently marked. And it's for Clearwater Township.
You mean the corner stakes?
No, I'm talking about, equipment. Anything.
Yeah.
Belongs to.
Yeah.
Because, the reason why I asked that, because I think it was marked with tape, I think we need something more permanent.
I talked with him. And he thought he had an engraver. I said, the engraver will work fine on metal, but when you get to the old Milwaukee and all that stuff, I said, use a wood burner.
Yeah.
Cause I engraved my wall, sent it in for fix, and they said that.
So-
under the warranty because.
So that's something that we need to purchase, so we can get this.
We need to get him, he doesn't have a wood burner. I told him, when you get to where you need a wood burner, let me know. I think I can get one down here.
Okay.
You
Uh,
Soldering iron.
Yeah, soldering iron.
No,
Yeah. Wood burner was nice to get.
just so everybody knows that I do have, when I took the inventory, I took pictures, serial numbers, and everything that the township owned then. That was available. I would like to turn that over to Greg. And I don't know how you want to handle it, it could be in the office. I believe it should belong in the office.
Oh, yeah, that's where it should be.
But I will turn that over at the next meeting.
All right, so you have serial numbers on anything that has serial number.
Everything that was in the pole barn or in that garage, I took pictures of. And with the serial numbers, and I'd like to turn that over to Greg, and so we can get this stuff.
Okay, well,
started to
Greg
find
should have a copy that is continuously updated, and what you have should be forwarded to the insurance company also, so they have a record.
Well, if that's, but this.
There should be a record over there in the office that says. This is inventory of the rebuilding, this is inventory of the garage.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Joe, for doing all that.
Yeah, that was a big job.
Huge.
To have pictures with no serial numbers of all the items that were missing from the pole barn. So that's another thing. I would like to present to the board one last time is pictures of everything that was missing. And if anybody recalls anything, or I think everybody knows where it's at. The other suggestion I would make on that would be possibly putting something in the paper. As far as maybe the township could come up with a cash amount, possibly. I wouldn't put the amount in there, but
Yeah,
leading up to items that are missing.
How many are we dealing with? Would it be conducive to publishing a list? Just in general, like the generator.
Well, let me tell you this, we've almost got $10,000 worth of items missing. So it's a big list.
10 grand.
So
10,000.
No.
No, yes, so I'm just trying to help this thing move along. And I'm just thinking maybe if we put something in paper.
Well, we can also. Okay, put an ad in those to the effect that a reward offered for the recovery of these of certain items from an incident, whatever. A list of these items can be obtained at the office. That way we wouldn't have to, keep it short.
But you don't get to come in,
Yeah.
all that happens.
So we could also put the tip line in the sheriff department. It's gonna be not.
Okay, oh, yeah, got a phone number for,
So
okay.
I just wondering if
Yeah.
this is something we want to do or look into. It doesn't have to be today.
So putting that in the hands of the sheriff rather than in the office. Then they can get information and follow up.
Okay.
Yeah, you still need to have this.
Okay, let's just think about it. Maybe we talk about it again at the next meeting.
Joe has time to come up with.
Then you can kick it around at a budget meeting too.
We can come up with a
Yeah,
tip line.
Okay.
have to do that.
I do have a packet, for all the board members. So they know where it's at right now. It does not contain every single aspect of this. But it gives you a good idea. I will be delivering a packet with everything. To the lawyer. That's it.
Or light reading.
That's a lot of work. It is a lot of work. I don't mind doing it. But I do have some receipts to turn on, for copies. As far as this goes.
Nothing over it's $1,000 for the trust.
No. So I did go to an.
This is for you to be reimbursed.
Yes, please. That's a good idea where we stand on that. For the next meeting, we can talk a little bit more about it. What direction we want to go into.
I commend you on the work you've done.
Yes.
Much appreciated. Yes, no hard. It's time. You find spare time.
Pretty intense stuff.
Not to mention he did the maintenance.
That's all. I got.
Thank you.
So we're down to Parks and Rec.
I'm hoping once this is all done, I can have stuff to the public. But right now, I'm trying to keep it just to the board until we get a little bit more. Board.
Did you get all of the bids for the floor, for the gym floor?
No, I haven't. I've had a couple of site visits. And I haven't had anything.
We had two at a meeting about 3 months ago.
Yeah, I don't have any of them, so I don't know.
I have Angie. This weekend, I had an update on this one because we wanted to find out what this is for. Sport floor. I asked Angie to get the one that she got and asked what it is for the extra volleyball. I don't think they got back to us, but this one here was $500 for the volleyball, putting the volleyball holes or whatever they do.
Yeah, the increase.
The parks, according to this, we're requesting the board make a motion to vote on the gym floor restoration. They put the wrong date, October 21st, it's 19th. With the additional $500 to store the 4 sleeve inserts. As original Parks and Rec fiscal year budget included 15.8 for this project could be spent out of our recreation budget or transferred to whatever budget line I want to see come from. I talked to this guy, I actually met him, and this is what they do. Their companies out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. That's what they do. The other ones were people that do highway. from what I saw, the one that Angelina did her floors. I recommend, since our gym floor, we get a person that knows how to do these. It was only $1,000 difference. But this guy does the lines and he knows all the stuff and what needs to be done. So I don't want to keep delaying it because we got a brand new volleyball system that needs to go up. And they already said that they're willing to pay for it out of their budget. So I'd like to make a motion, we get sport floor to do there. I did ask them how soon they could do it. I emailed if they were approved. It's been a few weeks, and they said the last week in October, early November. So this is, we just need to get it done for them.
When they say as the original Parks and Rec fiscal year budget included that money for this project, are they talking about last year's budget or this year's budget? Because if they're talking about last year's budget, that's already been closed and they're on their new budget.
Yeah.
So that would
We've
come
been
out
talking
of
about
their
it. This guy
fund.
came out, I'll tell you what, this bid came in first in March 13th is where this bid came in.
Mhm.
So it would be this year, it wouldn't be last year
Okay.
because of the date.
I
We
mean,
got people renting it. I mean, it's.
they
keeping busy.
definitely have the funds to cover it in their bank account.
I'd like to make a motion, we just have this company do it, unless Tom's got some other ones.
We did motion to put that at the expense of the board or the township rather than Parks and Rec. So I would
But
suggest,
They want to.
I know they want
can.
to,
Why can't they?
There's a 50% deposit.
because it's not just,
The volleyball, no.
the
volleyball
building's not
lines.
just used for
Does that,
perks.
does that say that,
What's that?
that they want to pay for this?
Yeah,
Yeah, we're requesting, they've said it time and again.
it can be
spent
spent.
out-
Originally, when they said they were gonna pay for it, it was $7,000 to $9,000 too.
Said it can be spent out of our recreation budget or transferred to whichever budget line item it should come from. Please keep us informed of an estimated timeline on this project. we
And
put
it can't
out for
happen
6
until
months.
after the election.
Pardon?
Right.
Yeah, well. the sooner the better,
Because-
Cause they only play volleyball in the winter,
I understand that.
and the one they have
Is
is,
there any other bids?
there was one,
there
it
was
was
one.
1,000. We got it in a packet
I'm-
2 or 3 months ago. And it never came up for a vote, and it was $1,000 less than this one. That company, as far as I know, someone that Angie knew didn't get back with the additional how much it would cost. I kept asking them, and they didn't. Those are the
There's-
2 I have in this town.
There's another one floating out there and there's one, I did site, basically came in and did the measurements.
Which brings to my mind policy and procedure.
And hey,
What is our policy and procedure for bidding? This is not how it's supposed to work.
It was,
It's supposed to be bid sent in, sealed, opened up at the meeting, voted on. Instead of packets and
that's why.
it's just not, it's not working the way it's supposed to work. So we need to get back to the way it's supposed to go.
So let's roundtable this to the next meeting.
No,
Okay.
we've already received the bids. That's the thing. We've already looked at the bids. But we've never voted on one, other than voting that Parks and Rec don't pay for it. So if Parks and Rec doesn't pay for it out of their budget, the only option we have, I would say, would be ARPA funds. Because ARPA funds can be used for community. And the Township Hall gym is community. So that would be my motion to approve that bid to be paid out of the ARPA funds.
Except the parks is gonna have a lot of money. They've got a millage coming.
They
in.
have,
I'll
they
second-
didn't get their grants too, so
I
they
will
need
second
that money.
motion.
Whichever. Just get it.
That's for, now that $500 before, yeah.
That's 500, I got this one. Let's see. I got a huge one, it was $500. That's right here, and that's what she said.
Yeah, and
The
her,
original
her
parts.
committee
Okay, it was
report.
15.8 for this project, okay.
So
Cool.
15.8 plus fund, 500, 16.3, 16.3.
What's that, with the additional 500?
Wait, what does the bid say?
No. The original bid was 14.
So
232.
that plus 5.
Plus 5 for the anchors.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was looking at what the original.
Do you have that? It's 14. The original.
14,732.
So 14,732.50 is what I want.
That's with the $500.
Yep.
Yeah.
So roll call vote, Greg Bradley,
Yes, ma'am.
Albert Keys,
Yes.
Joanne Childs,
Yes.
Tom Backers,
Yes.
Christine Johnson, yes.
Okay, so we need to contact these people and have to send us a contract.
Yes.
And we've got an election on November 7th. They said
Yeah.
the last week, I don't know if they still do it, last week in October they could do it. That's next week. So I almost kind of late date to let me know.
That's not gonna happen. We're not gonna get in the middle of something and then have the election.
She's something about work to do.
Just, there was ARPA.
Yes.
When do we have to have ARPA?
April 30th of next year.
2020. 2021.
It was December 20th.
Last final rule I read said April.
That April had designated.
We haven't committed, what we want to do committed by that, but I thought it was December 20th. Look it up.
December of 2026 is when we are.
Right, right.
But the.
I have to go back and reread.
I have a quick question, if I could just interject. Nobody wants to pay, Underhill more than I do, but you were talking about ARPA and I was down here a few minutes ago, but that placement of bridges is an authorized use of ARPA.
Yes, and it also, and once you spend the ARPA funds, you're committed to federal guidelines, which hiring practices and.
It raises the labor cost by about 40%.
Which is why, Mr. Rogers has suggested we do not do that. Because if you want Underhill Road paved, we're not gonna pay union scale.
That makes sense.
Anyway. Okay. So the gym floor will be scheduled sometime after. November. What? Yeah, well, he's gonna have to send us an agreement, so. We can accept the quote, but we still don't have the net anchors on there, so. Just send us a new agreement we can sign.
Okay.
Money's been approved.
Yep.
Further on that, they have the board working to appoint Mike Span to the parks to be the
Right.
chairperson. Because Christie will continue the secretary role, but she's stepping down in December as chairperson. So she's, if we have to approve that, request the board approve Mike Span to the Parks and Recreation Committee chair.
So
Yeah.
something we
I
have
would
to approve.
recommend, he
Is
came
he on the
from,
committee now?
well, he came to our last meeting and they talked him into involved, so.
That's an internal committee. I don't know why we would have to approve.
Him as a chair, I didn't know, that's what they didn't know.
Thanks.
But you guys elect your own chair and just let us know who it is, so we know. what it is.
And hot committee, right?
I am gonna ask and make a motion that all of our chair people of the committees get paid $50, so we gotta work on that. We want more people volunteer.
Budget meeting's the 11th.
Let's discuss that at the budget meeting.
Next.
Set.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay.
And a part of this grant that we got, maintenance will need to check the water bladders twice a week. I don't know if that's being done. You filled them up, right?
Yes, I filled, actually, I didn't do the school, because we had all that
Well,
rain.
Yeah, I've seen it do their own, but I don't know if that's being done, if we're gonna have Craig do it.
What's that?
Fill the water bladders?
It's been so wet though, I don't think.
Yeah, probably don't. This is just, maybe just check them. Maybe.
Water bladders,
It's the alligator.
the trees that we planted,
Oh,
they
okay.
go around the tree and we give it water.
Yeah, it's been plenty
They
wet.
also,
We're having that already.
we also would like Craig, and they've talked to him, to be approved to attend the monthly meeting, so we can work efficiently together. So they've talked to Craig, and they would like Craig to attend the meeting. And we
Yeah,
will pay
like
for
he
him.
also wants to get paid for it.
Yeah, and the Parks expects to pay that out of the budget for the hour and half hour, 10 minutes, or whatever he comes. They're not stay for the whole thing. We just need them there to have.
That's a pain in the butt, because they have a separate bank account. I can't do payroll out of their account.
I think it's a good idea though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we do, they should be handed in. And that would help them with the scheduling, or somebody who's doing the scheduling.
How? Is that like 1 hour meeting? How long are their meetings usually?
We meet at 6 until 7:30, but he can come and do a report and be done in 10 minutes.
Okay.
Well, no, not really, because if they have something that they want us to involve in, then
Well, we need. there
It
needs to
would be at least an hour and a half.
Their meetings aren't like this. I wish they were.
Well, you need to ask Craig if you want to get paid overtime, or do you want to go home at noon that day?
Yeah, cut hours somewhere else.
I can ask you. when
We would
mention
have to
that.
approve
Pay
it.
For lunch, or we just pay him for 8 hours a day,
Picking up straight A.
straight 8.
Mhm.
Yeah, his. Would
An
depend
employee,
on where
if
he's
you're
at.
working 8 hours, you are entitled to a half hour lunch.
Okay, I just wondered how we were doing that. Or we were adding next to him.
so are you gonna present that to them?
Yeah, I can ask him if he wants to go to the Park and Rec and go home early or get paid extra. We'll have to figure that one out on your end, right?
Yeah.
It's only once a month.
If it's
The
being
first Tuesday of
paid
the month.
through Parks and Rec, it wouldn't be considered overtime.
Mm-mm.
It's a different department. I don't know, how would we do that?
What's the question?
I don't know, as far as payroll, like if it's like a second job, you know? Through the same, but it's being paid through Parks and Rec, not through the township.
Right.
But Parks and Rec through the township, but I don't know.
I think we just keep it simple, we pay them just like out of the township,
Yeah,
instead of making this so hard. And if we need to cut back a half hour or an hour,
Well, what we can do is. Put it down,
you know,
and if he decides he wants regular pay for it, then we build it in the budget going forward.
You
because-
might even volunteer, spend the community forever, so. And they're still waiting on a signed contract with GFA for the conceptual design and cost estimates at Heritage Park, which we can't even plan anything. We're talking right now of an ice rink, and it has been suggested by Craig that we get one like our Rapids have, we order the whole kit, you know, and put it up and use every year. Once GFA does our plan, we can put cement or whatever permanent there and work from that.
but they had permission to contract with them.
yeah,
We already gave permission,
Yeah.
so,
I don't
told
know
them
what
we
they're
could
waiting
on it.
for. I sent
Have
them the
they been
minutes where it
told?
was approved, yeah.
So they are aware that they are, if they've been
Yeah.
approved. I know I emailed Jennifer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
We skipped over the zoning board of appeals vacancy, Lucy Gerlach.
Yeah,
Do you have Greg's title? It's Teresa Sherman,
yeah,
was that the name?
yeah.
Do we have others or just that one?
Kevin Arietta, but he withdrew his application. And, Greg, evidently, Teresa's been at, a couple of meetings. So Greg, requested we nominate, and approve her for this vacancy created by, Lucy's retirement. So, I nominate Teresa Sherman, to fill the vacancy for the zoning board of appeals. Do I have a second?
Oh, we're all seconding. Oh. Joe was first.
Yes. Sherman.
Teresa S.H. ZBA alternate.
I thought it was you talk.
That's what it says on here on their meeting agenda. It says Teresa Sherman.
Yeah, SCH.
Yep. All right, does that need a roll call vote?
Sure.
Joanne?
Yes.
Greg?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Albert? Keys, yes. Christine, yes.
I would also like to suggest, I know, Lucy's been, involved in township activities, active for quite a long time, and I know Tina Fields has been dedicated to. I mean, she's my go-to historian. If I want to know something about the history of this township, I call her. And I think, at some point, we might want to acknowledge, their service to the community in some way, shape, or form. So, put that in your Rolodex for the next meeting.
That might be a good thing for the newsletter that's supposed to go out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
anyone's got stuff for the newsletter, the sooner the better, because I'd like to see it done by the first week of November.
I'm not very good at this.
Well, give us a deadline so we can bug people.
I said the end of October,
And
that gives you a little few
Well,
days to.
Can somebody, I'm not very good at this, but can somebody write something up for the newsletter for both of these ladies?
Anybody can write up for the newsletter.
Actually, we can just ask Lisa.
If you
to
do a
write
basic
something up
outline,
for
we can
that.
tell us stuff.
We'll just tell her that's what we want.
Okay.
Yeah, just highlight bullet
Just,
points, doesn't matter which flow. Yeah,
Note of appreciation or something for Lucy and Tina.
so we get a new lease agreement from Under Hill. Lock training. All right, I'm under new business, EPS lock training. We have to get that rescheduled.
Was there anything that we needed to do for Dan Packard, because he's up for renewal too? Is that a request to
For the ZBA.
is he going to continue if we, or, yeah, he's gone already. All right.
Now, the thing about it is with him on the planning commission, that would create a conflict
Oh, what
with the
else?
ZBA.
Oh, okay, so
if
we
he-
need somebody
yeah,
else to take
because if
his
he already
position.
votes on an issue and it gets challenged. All right, he's prejudiced.
Mm.
I think he would have to be disqualified for ZBA since he took the.
So, Ron, are we interested in ZBA instead of planning?
Yeah. Oh, Jean, yeah, she's on the ZBA.
Oh,
She's the rep.
She's a rep from the planning commission to, that's not a conflict of interest.
No, she's a member of the ZBA and she's the ZBA rep. For planning commission or the ZBA, kind of like he's a planning commission.
There's no time.
See, maybe ZBA is acting for a special use.
But if not, they don't get it. Actually,
So we gotta reschedule her EPS lock training. Evidently, she has. And she's got this packet for a website proposal.
Yes.
I would suggest we kind of like table that until November,
Oh.
unless somebody has
Gotta
it.
get that.
What's-
Angie picked Munibet.
Hmm?
Angie picked Munibet. That's
Okay.
the one that she prefers.
$39 a month.
Yeah,
Which one is it?
No.
Unibet.
Munibet.
Okay, so do you want to approve the
Yeah.
Unibit?
Do we have the Munibet bid?
That's been,
We
that-
have that bid?
that's been in our packet for 3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just have to make a decision on that. If you pick one, which one do you like? And that one looks reasonable to me. Yeah, oh, well, she has Civic here. but
That's the one that they did the video for us.
Was it the
Yeah,
first
the
one that I saw?
Munibet, yeah.
Yeah, and she likes that, and it's easy, and it's $39 a month, or a lot of them are like $10,000 just set up, so. I saw that, I thought, this is good, for our budget.
They have, where they can pay. Where they can pay online. I don't see that
That would be set up,
separate, because I know that the other one did.
I know Dee's talked to her about that, so I'm thinking. Down payment, completion of work, that's a different.
So Dee and her has already talked about this.
Yeah, they discussed that.
Okay, what was the outcome?
Basically told, after they talked about it, Angie said, they told Angie, pick one, they already knew what was needed. Integration specific requirements, integration of payment application for property taxes, rental and permits. This is this one?
Yeah, that's the things they need.
Requirements down. You'll see that on page 3. A cemetery software integration, now we're working on that. Rental events calendar, and looks like it's all here. When you look down on the 3rd page where it says specific requirements.
Yeah, is that for, Unibit?
This is the whole packet that I have all stapled together. So I'm looking like that, and then the next one separate that's attached next to it is called Civic. She also liked that one, that's the one called Casper uses. But she decided the other one.
There was something about Civic that she decided said wouldn't, oh, they didn't have the calendar,
Oh, okay.
I think, was what it was.
Yeah.
She needs the calendar.
That's for like a third party or something, if I read that right.
Yeah,
This
here.
This is the one that she owns.
Says, gonna cost us to buy our own custom domain. That's right there, we have to purchase that. Look down there, website builder, second bullet, that last line.
Oh, yeah, you can get them pretty cheap.
Jim says about $29.
Don't we already own, don't we own a domain?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
It's our domain.
Clearwater Township.com, it is a domain.
You know,
That's a website, but is that a domain? I don't think that's a domain. The domain hosts the website.
Oh, no, this other one,
Clearwater.
right here, this other one, is
That
that,
is a domain?
is Moonbit the Traverse City?
No,
That's a different one,
Yeah.
so. This is the one. The Traverse City webpage design is what she gave us. That she wanted that one, I think, because she gave it to us.
she just told me in the office
I think
that she wanted me to bet.
Because.
All right.
That one's here. That one is. I wish they just wrote it down. It is, because the one here, the
She sent us
website.
a lot of information, but she's done a lot of work on researching these.
Design, this page here, behind
Here.
the but.
Christine, you talked to her before the meeting?
Yesterday I talked to her and she said me in a bit.
Okay, I make a motion that we, go with Unibet.
What's this one?
She gave us all the options.
Okay, good, I'm good for it. That must have all that. I'm good.
Motion to approve. Is it approving? Unibet.
You talk to people out there, are you okay with that?
Yeah. The new website developer. Is there a second for that motion?
I'll second that.
Does that need a roll call vote?
It's a contract.
Money.
Okay, okay. Joanne,
Yes.
Greg, the Unibet as our new website developer.
$39.
Yep.
No other upfront cost.
That's what I'm saying.
Yep,
Okay. Your word.
that's on their word. It's what they say right here. Albert Keys,
Yes.
Tom Backers,
Yes.
and I say yes. So actually, I think even Pro Web was in support of that too. They
Really?
yeah, they've been talking to Angie too. They're ready for us to move to somewhere else.
Okay, did we? Ryan said he put a bid on completing the siding on the garage in my mailbox. I didn't see.
With his application.
No, he's the only one that did a site visit. The other person has expressed an interest, asked for all kinds of weird information, like whether we were union or not. And after 3 emails and 2 phone calls to this guy, I still got no commitment for a site visit. Ryan's done work for us before. This is less than $1,000 to get this thing buttoned up before there's no fly. Okay.
I think that, yeah, as supervisor, you can just authorize that. You don't need a vote or anything.
Yeah, I just wanted everybody to be aware of what we were doing because
Okay.
that ad's been in the paper for 2 weeks.
You got 2, right? One was for $5,134.
Well, check it out. It might be for the.
Oh, are you looking at just the cost of materials from Carter? That's the second page is.
Township garage.
And the,
For the first one on top. And it's right here.
oh, yeah,
That's $4,200. Labor to prep and install.
yeah, no, that's way more than 1,000.
Flashing and trimming. I didn't ask him to do that.
Well, if you look at it, it's something's going on there where it's gonna have to be done.
Well, I understand that. But that could be part of the roofing project too, because that roof is falling apart.
In my understanding, if you don't get more than 1 bid, you have to put it back out for bids again
Okay, well, stick it back out there
until you get 3.
because it's flashing and trimming all exposed wood, fixing the
I would say
soffit.
let's put it out.
No.
I would say let's put it out for one more bid, but we need to make a decision.
With more details.
Yeah, I gotta, because I didn't exclude that specifically.
Oh,
It was just
Recommendation at the budget meeting.
install the siding. Say anything about the soffit or the eaves, and you included that.
you should remove it.
Yeah, he said tear it down.
Just tear it down,
Correctly.
get rid of it.
Well, that's for another day.
Yep,
No.
it wasn't, it was 5,000.
That's something.
That was
weird
part of the
there. I can't
breakdown.
believe It's 5,000. There's something weird there.
It was $5,000, but he was talking about replacing all the soffit, all the aluminum, all the
Was there two different separate numbers on that?
Well, it's 812 for material.
But
Yeah,
we've
but
got
he's-
materials.
But he's talking about the flashing and the siding and the aluminum trim on that thing, and that's not part of the process, so. I have to be explicit as to what I exclude in the next ad.
I know it's gonna be more than just siding, just by looking at it, and I don't know a whole lot about this.
It's gotta be blocked up at the old T111, because there's nothing behind the T111. So there's no support, once you rip that off. So the problem is building it out till it's flush and then siding over the whole thing. There's no aluminum involved. You just go up to the soffit and stop.
Yeah, there's one rule, yeah.
Yeah.
The soffit and.
All right, I'll let him know.
There is that one guy, if we buy the materials, that one, I got his name is Marker. And he does maintenance for
I do
people.
have a question about, the bid that, did we, I know you're supposed to do this, but did it get done as far as the hall, as far as repair?
Are you talking about? What part?
The windows, the front entrance.
Oh, all that, and that hasn't, God, I haven't even thought about that yet. As far as the windows, we've caulked, the two that were leaking. We've cured that as far as I know. All right, but as far as getting an estimate on redoing all those windows, or at least reflashing them, making them watertight.
Yeah, we need to do that before we do the floor.
That one's done. The one over the gym floor is done, and that one's not leaking. Okay, that's why we put the shade back up. So the gym floor can be done. As far as the entryway here, no, I haven't dealt with that, but that's not leaking in the gym floor. That's inside the foyer.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, and the two windows that were leaking were the zoning admin
Yes.
office.
Yes.
Okay, and the office window on the far, be the what,
So
north
that-
side.
That also needs to be put out in the paper.
Right, if we're gonna do the windows, we'll have them look at all. And the doors.
Yeah.
When Ryan got through with this outside door,
So.
basically he said that one needs to be replaced. Period. He said the fix he put in was not gonna last long.
So you're gonna take care of that.
And the other thing is, we've got the steel door for the pole barn. I put that away, but we either have to figure out whether he's gonna install it or we want somebody else.
Well, I think we need to have
Craig
something.
and I talked about that. That doorway is a ton.
Yes, it does.
It hit. We tried to stand it up and we couldn't do it. So I mean,
Really?
well, it's banded down on a trucking pallet and everything else and we need to. He feels we need to hire that done.
Yeah, I think.
He said he would help, but he said that's just too heavy of a
So
door.
heritage door install.
Well, that brings up another topic is, you need doors replaced. If it's something that's really needed. Like the door replaced, door put on. I think we should, at some point, it takes way too long for that to come to the board, when we know it has to be done. We need to find somebody that is able to do that kind of stuff.
Joe and I talked with people, hiring maintenance for,
A guy came in fantastic, his last name was Marker, and Tom had asked me, and I lost his contact information, I got his phone number. He said, call me, but he did that for condominiums in Traverse, he's like a handyman, he fixed this and that. And I introduced him to Tom, and I thought, he lives here in our townships, I'm like, maybe he is one, he's retired, he doesn't want a job, but he could do what we need to get done.
He wants to be odd job. Handyman.
See if I can find it.
we're talking about have a maintenance company on call. That we
Yeah.
could say, hey, Joe,
Let us
we need
know.
to come down, give us
The
a cost.
company that
estimate
does a
on
little
doing
bit of
this.
everything.
If it falls in what we think, even though it's over $1,000, if it's maintenance, it's maintenance. I I mean, that whole thing needs to be rewritten,
Sounds like a wonderful idea.
because I'll tell you what, you take a look at the bills that I okayed, almost every one of them's over $1,000 just for an oil change, you know?
Something that we really,
That's on my radar to rewrite that purchasing
Yeah.
policy.
well,
In fact, I looked for a policy book and I couldn't find one in the office. There is no policy book. We need a policy book.
Yeah.
Did you?
Previous board work.
They're somewhere. I found some stuff on the computer, but I couldn't find anything in the office.
I would say that we job this job out so we can get it done before winter.
Right,
And then work on finding
yeah.
somebody.
But that's something else that we really, do we put it out for bids? I think it should be somebody that's insured.
well, I could call the, Allen Supply, who basically, deal with mostly steel doors, all the commercial buildings. I mean, the reason I called them in the first place was because I had them replace a hangar door when I was working at the Coast Guard. Because it was falling apart, it was a piece of garbage. So anyway, I can call him up and ask for a contract. Who you got that installs?
Well, I think we're looking for somebody that's overall, say.
Well, I understand that, but we want this door in.
Oh, yeah.
What I'm saying is for a one-shot deal.
Sure.
I sent you that guy, I just texted you that guy's number. I can't remember his first name, I think it's Don Marker, M-A-R-K.
I remember who you were talking about.
And being that company, and they do it all the time, I'm sure it's gonna be pricey, but I think it'll be done right.
Yeah. That's.
One of the problems that I run into at the church all the time is that when they're small jobs, your companies don't want to take the small jobs.
You know.
It's really hard to find somebody to do just the little things every once in a while.
Yeah,
He's a local person, he has it through, like I was talking to him about the doors today.
Yeah.
And he says, I'll tell you, he says, it's gonna be, he says, I got 3 projects going on that I have to get closed in between now and winter.
yeah,
So I've got something to do the rest of the winters,
yeah,
you know, waiting this late in the year.
so it can get heated, yeah.
Justin Byron, his dad didn't have a company, I know he's not working, but
Okay, but well, we need to.
We need to close the meeting pretty soon.
Okay, insurance renewal,
What do we need to do about that?
we need to vote to approve the month, 23-9.
26,396.
we need two.
Okay, premium. We had 2 vehicles this year, an additional cost of $1,003. It's no increase over premium. Okay,
Is this in the budget? Like,
the quoted premium, I think, I don't know if we pay these quarterly or.
I think it's annual.
It's a lump sum payment.
Huh?
It's a lump sum payment.
Let's be done.
Yeah. I mean,
Would you rather have?
is it in our budget? Like,
Well.
is it figured in our budget?
What is the fire department share?
Oh, part of this is fire department too?
It's share.
Oh,
We'll pay, our insurance bill rate runs between $11,000 and $17,000 a
I don't
year.
think we ever paid him 2 payments. So that would be.
No, I don't think so either. I think last time this came up, we paid it all up.
We do, but he'll give you a breakdown if you won't want.
oh.
You see what I'm
okay.
saying? Yeah, we've always did it, but I've seen it come through where, a fire department
So basically, we need to call them.
of the budget was 11,500 or something,
Okay.
or the premium. Cause you got insurance covered on $1 million worth of truck over there.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. All right,
So I will
so we need,
Okay.
basically this broke down. I didn't see. I guess I had to go back and look at the policy. You need to call them and have them put it in the fire department.
Yeah.
Because we are two different budgets, two different agencies, fire department and township.
It is due November 13th.
So I would say, you know, and make the most, pay this once we have a breakdown.
Right,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay,
We're gonna pull that up.
all right, so Greg motion. To pay
no,
insurance
I want to start looking for a different.
bill. That breakdown.
basically, I could have the deputy supervisor look around.